This is an independent fan channel and is not affiliated with or endorsed by Hassanby. All content is created for commentary, education, and news purposes under fair use.
BBC just tiptoeing around. Dude, I know. The command over the English language that these guys demonstrate whenever they want to talk about Israel doing something horrifying never ceases to amaze me. I saw a title. I saw an article headline. We're going to talk about this in a second. I saw an article headline that was so insane that it just wasn't even English anymore. It wasn't even the English language anymore. It was just something different. It took a life of its own. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, the Iranian Uber driver, he's going to be fine. He's got Nostradamus backing him up. You know what I mean? Nostradamus is backing his ass up. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, God damn it. There was one title that was just like the most... oh, dude, this. I mean, this is the Jerusalem Post, right? Like they are... I mean, look at this. IDF tries to reset narrative on mistaken killing of 14 Gazan aid workers. Bro, at that point, just don't even try. I don't know what you're doing. Like, what does this mean? What does anything mean? What does anything mean? What is this title, bro? I like that. I mean, look, the Jerusalem Post obviously is uniquely bad. So they're not in the business of like educating people on the truth at all. And this kind of stuff this kind of stuff basically proves, oh, this is what I was looking for. This was the original title. What is happening to the English language? IDF tries to reset mistaken killing of 14 Red Cross workers. IDF tries to reset narrative on mistaken killing of 14 Gazan aid workers. What does that mean? What like tries to reset? Like they try to bring him back alive? Is that what happened? Anyway, we're obviously going to cover this. Hold on. Let me see if I can find I'm going to see if there's a playlist or not. If not, I'm just going to pull some up because I have to go pee real quick as well. Immediately, as soon as I start streaming, I have to piss. I have to rip a pee. It's crazy. Go piss, girl. Oh no, I'm gonna. All right, I found it. Here it is. Israel admits mistake over medic killings in Gaza. We're obviously going to start with that. Here it is. This is not exactly a fun story to start off with, but it's a very important one. And I think my coverage on this is not just going to talk about the atrocities, but instead I'm going to be talking about the Western reception and the media, the media criticism side of this, because it's yet another disgusting story that you guys are familiar with. And there's a lot of insanity that revolves around the story. So I'm going to pee real quick and then...
The military has admitted its soldiers made mistakes over the killing of 15 emergency workers in Gaza last month, which sparked international outrage. Mobile phone footage that emerged forced Israel to change its account of what caused its troops to open fire on the rescue workers. The Israeli army said the convoy had been approaching suspiciously without headlights or flashing lights. A military official has now admitted that was inaccurate. Dan Johnson reports, and a warning, you may find some of the footage distressing.
This video challenges Israel's account of why its soldiers opened fire with such deadly force. It's just before dawn, and the Red Crescent paramedics and civil defense workers are answering a call to help the wounded near Rafah. Israel's military first said this convoy advanced suspiciously towards troops with the lights switched off. But you can see, these are marked vehicles, and they're wearing reflective uniforms. Then, without warning, this. The shooting continues for more than 5 minutes. The paramedic who's filming says his last prayers. Refat Redwan.
His last words were praying to God and then saying, hold on, I'm just going to give you the actual last words. Hold on. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to paraphrase it or anything like that. He says, "Forgive me, Mother. This is the path I chose to help people." He was found in a mass grave with a bullet inside his head alongside all of the other paramedics, alongside all of the other Red Cross workers. Israel had buried them and the ambulances as well in an effort to hide it. And predictably, Israel did the exact same things that they do. Number one, Israel does not mention any of the atrocities or even run defense for any of the atrocities that it commits normally until Western media starts making a fuss about one of the horrible acts that it has committed on a daily basis. Okay? They do stuff like this all the time. We cover it here all the time. Our coverage on this, of course, is not the same as the New York Times covering it or CNN talking about it. Okay? The only reason why you're even hearing about this story or Israel responding to the story by lying is because they had to respond to it. And once they respond to any of the horrible actions that they're engaging in, the playbook is always the same. First, they say they were Hamas. Then more evidence comes out. Then they say, okay, maybe they weren't Hamas. We mistakenly thought that they looked like Hamas. Then more evidence comes out. They say, okay, even the footage itself shows that there was not even a single piece of evidence that could lead us to believe that they were in any way, shape, or form remotely suspicious. Okay? Yeah, they just lie about they lie about the most basic. They lied in this situation saying like the ambulances did not have their lights on. They were moving in a suspicious way. There was a Hamas militant in the ambulance. They just lie about everything, every part of this. And then when that also is directly contradicted by the truth, they turn around and they go, okay, we're going to investigate ourselves. It was a mistake. That's the final stage. And then months later, when people follow up, they either say, yeah, we're still conducting an investigation, or never conclude the investigation. Or if they do conclude the investigation, they'll say, sorry, we're not going to punish the people. Basically a tap on the wrist at most. That is literally the only thing that ever happens. Okay. And I tweeted about this earlier today. I was like, look, if this is new to you, that Israel lied again, Israel, one, engaged in a horrifying act of violence that you read about in history books, and then directly lied about it, and this is shocking to you, then you shouldn't be a journalist. Like, this is not, you shouldn't even be out in the real world without adult medical supervision at every stage. You will have to be the dumbest person on the planet to be like, oh, I can't believe Israel lied again. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I tweeted, I said, if Israel isn't lying about a horrific atrocity, that means the Western legacy press hasn't even covered it enough that it warrants them lying about it. Any journalist that's still surprised about Israel lying to them is either the biggest dumbass, a careerist, charlatan, or both. It's crazy. Oh yeah, the other side of the story is they'll say, what about Syria? Or you're anti-Semitic for even criticizing Israel. Every step of the way. Israel. I know we lied about the ambulance workers, Shifa Hospital, Flower Massacre, beheaded babies, Hamas Hospital, Hind Rajab, the terror list, days of the week, World Central Kitchen workers, babies in ovens, white phosphorus, deliberately starving Gazans, Sinwar surrounding himself with 20 hostages in a tunnel, gassing hostages, the Al Ahli Hospital, killing women and children with white flags, mass raping Palestinians, non-existent tunnels under graveyards, Nasser Hospital, Hussam Abu Safia, mass graves, snipers targeting kids in the head, providing protection to criminal gangs to loot aid, wiping out Gaza, who refused/collapsed the ceasefire, Israel did, blowing up, and then lied and said it was Hamas, blowing up the Gazans fleeing south, Kamal Adwan Hospital, claiming dead Gazan children are dolls, creating safe zones, the general's plan, how many Hamas militants were killed, Red Crescent taking part on October 7, calling killed journalists Hamas militants, Mohammed Abu Salmiya, the Indonesian hospital, UNRWA Al-Auda Hospital, killing women sheltering at church, bombing the church, destroying every single Gazan university, the Turkish Cancer Hospital, Hamas hiding giant stockpiles of fuel in Rafah, finding active smuggling tunnels in Rafah, hostages returning pregnant, who killed Yossi Sharabi, Itai Svirsky, Nick Bazer, Ron Sherman, Elia Toledano. Every single thing that Israel says is a lie. It is infinitely, I mean, look, you can count the times that Israel is being truthful in one hand, as opposed to every single thing that they say. Now, this is not just Israel. Every government lies. Okay? Of course, every government lies. The American government lies all the time too. The difference between Israel and the United States of America, at least the lies that they've told in the past and the lies that they kind of continue to tell now, the difference between Israel and America is that because there is such an airtight consent manufacturing machine due to Israel's aligned interest with the American State Department that they don't even see the need to lie in a sophisticated manner. There's two factors at play here. One, the severity of the violence makes it virtually impossible to lie about or impossible to turn a blind eye to because they are so horny for bloodshed. So incredibly, there's so much appetite for bloodshed, both in Israel and the IDF is demonstrating that bloodshed on a daily basis. Okay. But on top of that, there is not really any mechanism of pushback. There's no interest in covering this issue truthfully because it's all the way over there from Western media in general. When they lie, there's rarely ever any pushback. This is one of the few instances of documented lies that Israel has partook in an effort to defend, again, something indefensible. And everyone is acting like they're so shocked by this. Like I saw Barak Ravid covering this in Hebrew, talking about how much shame Israel has brought, how much shame the IDF and the Israeli officials have brought to the great Jewish state, because they've really broken the bonds of trust with Western media with this one. Oh no, you really f***ed it up here. And it blows my mind because it's like, it's not even any different. What do you mean they f***ed up? It's not like they've ever seen any repercussions. Why would their expectations be any different this time? It's not the first time that they've done this. The only reason why this became a major story after Western press straight up omitted key details from this issue by refusing to talk to the Palestinian Red Cross workers and acting like they were inaccessible, like acting as though they could not, the New York Times, the paper of record, could not reach out to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society. Like, that's crazy. They were like, oh yeah, we just went with the Israeli government narrative because we just could not confirm nor deny or reach out to any of the Palestinian Red Cross people. An insult to the profession at a time when it is needed the most. Insane. The only reason why we found out about it is because they uncovered the mass graves. And after that, Israel predictably lied about it and the media played along with it. But this brave first responders' phone camera footage was found in the aftermath that directly contradicted the Israeli narrative surrounding it. That's it. That's literally the only reason. It's a miracle that the footage from the guy's phone got out. It's not a miracle. It's incompetence. Or rather, it's not even incompetence. It's actually hubris. The Israeli terrorists that assassinated these healthcare workers didn't even go through their phones or break their phones or anything like that after assassinating them because they're like, nobody cares. That's it. That's what it is. And the entitlement and the arrogance demonstrated by the Israeli state, because who's going to check them, is the reason why they don't even feel the need to try and massage the narrative and just straightforwardly lie. If this footage had not come out, it wouldn't even make a blip. Because let me tell you something. This is not the first time they've done this. They've done this virtually every week since October 7. I mean, like directly killing healthcare workers, okay? They've done this. They've done this hundreds of times since October 7. They did this to Western aid workers. So why is that even remotely surprising that they would think that, this is business as usual? It is business as usual. Yeah, they did this before October 7 as well. There are mass graves all over Gaza, chat. You're crazy if you think that this is new. I can't even fault the average American for being horrified by this instance and being shocked that a foreign state would lie so openly, so deliberately, without any care whatsoever. Because if the only news that you're hearing is from outlets that write titles like this: Israeli military changes account of Gaza paramedics killing video after video of attack, or IDF try to reset narrative. I mean, this is Jerusalem Post, so it's not Western press, but like video footage appears to contradict Israeli account of Gaza medic killings. Appears to contradict, like things that you can observe with your own eyes. Hard data, hard evidence itself still is at odds and contradicting the statements made by the Israeli government. It's like, why is the Israeli government that has so consistently lied without, in the least sophisticated ways possible, as a matter of fact, why is that a higher point of authority than like things that we can see and observe with our own two eyes, things that we can hear. It's insane to me. It is truly and utterly insane that even when you can see something visually, visual evidence of a instance of horrible executions of healthcare workers, first responders, and it's still at odds with the Israeli government statements on it. So that has a higher point of authority here. It's like straight up 1984. Don't believe your lying eyes. This is the reason why people are oblivious. And even in spite of this media blockade, okay, in spite of the media's best attempts, the Western media's best attempts, people are still aware of at least a fraction of the cruelty, and the limited amount of cruelty that they see is enough for them to go, this is insane. What are we doing?
One of 15 killed.
His phone was found with his body, and he recorded the whole event. His last words before being shot, "Forgive me, Mom. I just wanted to help people. I wanted to save lives."
The footage only emerged when teams could safely reach this site 7 days later. The bodies were buried along with the vehicles, regular practice, the army says, to protect them from animals. The UN called this a mass grave. Israel's account was already in question. The only paramedic to live through the shooting told us earlier this week they had their lights on and it was clear they were medics.
I am the only survivor who saw what happened to my colleagues, and I will expose the crimes committed by the occupation against them.
On Tuesday, Israel's response was in defense of its forces.
The IDF did not randomly attack an ambulance. Last Sunday, several uncoordinated vehicles were identified advancing suspiciously toward IDF troops without...
Oh, my bad. Big mistake. We made a big mistake, guys. It's not a mistake. You're ethnically cleansing the strip. It's a killing field. It's not a mistake. This is also a lie. When they say this is a mistake, no. The mistake is you foolishly thought that people would not uncover the mass graves that you had put forth. And then also on top of that, you thought that the Western media wouldn't care about the story as much. Or you thought that even if they did care about the story, there wouldn't be any real footage, any real evidence, hard evidence beyond firsthand accounts of Palestinians, which obviously nobody cares about because Palestinians are not seen as human beings in Western media. Yeah, it's not random, it's indiscriminate. Exactly. Indiscriminate killing is the policy here, and therefore it has a capacity to look random if you don't recognize what's going on. To the onlooker, from afar, you're like, oh, well, this seems like a big mistake. They didn't even, it's not like they bombed them. They shot them directly. They assassinated these people. They executed them. The only reason why it looks disorganized is because you can't have complete command over all of your troops and give them the directive to ethnically cleanse people. And even then, sometimes they do, like the Golani brigades and whatnot. Okay. But this is how you unfold ethnic cleansing, systematize, process ethnic cleansing in a way that looks disorganized and disordered because you're just letting them do whatever they want to do and showing them that there is no accountability internally within the military structure. If they knew that what they had done was appropriate, they wouldn't have buried the ambulances, by the way. Yeah, and Israel has responded to footage showing its forces killing on clearly marked ambulances on Rafah on March 23rd. The military said Golani Brigade soldiers under the 14th Armored Brigade had staged an ambush around 4 a.m. in Tel Al Sultan neighborhood. A video aired on Israel's Channel 14 in early April shows a Golani commander briefing troops before the operation. Here are some of the words that this brigade had said. Everyone you meet is an enemy. You recognize a person, open fire, eliminate them, and move on. Why we create immense military pressure. We kill a lot of enemies, take a lot of their land. That's how the hostages are returned to this point. Everyone you meet is an enemy. You recognize a person, you open fire, eliminate, and move on. Don't get confused on the subject. I've never seen a situation where they so clearly detail all of this out. Where they so clearly detail it out. They're like, this is an ethnic cleansing. This is a genocide. We're doing a genocide. We love doing ethnic cleansing. Here's how you are going to do the ethnic cleansing. You're going to kill every single person that you see. It does not matter. Kill them dead. over and over again. And people are still like, I don't know, man. I really want to feel like Israel's in the right here. So your statements are actually hurting my feelings. And so I'm going to cynically claim that this is anti-Semitism. You openly detailing and showcasing things that the Israeli military and the Israeli government are voluntarily saying is actually making me feel uncomfortable about Israel's actions because I want to feel like Israel's a moral nation. So I'm going to go ahead and cynically say you're being anti-Semitic. It is insane. Truly. If you defend Israel, you're a horrible monster. That's it. You're an awful person. Barely a human. You have dehumanized yourself in defense of an apartheid state that is doing a genocide. Shame on you. If you had a conscience, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Actual Nazis. Look at this pathological liar. Israel's deputy foreign minister receives talking points mid-interview. What is this?
Sharon, let's begin with these bodies that have been found in southern Gaza. Should there be an investigation?
Don't you defend known terrorists? Brother, there has never been a moment where I've defended the nation state of Israel or the nation state of the United States of America. They are the known terrorists here, okay? The people that are being slaughtered by these known terrorists are not terrorists. You're a dumbass. Do you think the Nazis were the terrorists or the resistance networks that tried to fight back against them? Well, considering you're a Nazi right now, you probably would defend the Nazi regime as well in that process. You'd be like, yeah, these Jews should not have been resisting. Why'd they do the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising? How dare they? Jew boy 69688. Just all you got is just like spamming the Israeli flag in this moment. This is gross. I need you to understand something, okay? Toothpaste is out of the tube. You can't put it back. You can't. Go ahead. Keep posting your swastika flag in the chat. It's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change the truth. Every single day that goes on, every single new child or healthcare worker or doctor or professor that Israel kills, every single hospital that Israel blows up is causing people to recognize the truth. Israel is a pariah state, and you are a scumbag. You've always been a scumbag for defending Israel, but now at least more people are aware that you're a scumbag for defending Israel.
And why is Israel killing emergency workers?
So this is absolutely incorrect. There has been no such case like that. But
how do you know?
There have been mistakes, the events with the Central World Kitchen, that's been a grave mistake. But the fact is, I don't know what case you're referring to, but...
So Hamas killing innocent civilians is okay? Did I say that? Where's that chatter? You guys are clapping them real quick before I can even respond. Dude, it's so instructive that Israel slaughtering Red Cross medical workers and then putting them in a unmarked mass grave, including the ambulance in the unmarked mass grave that they put forth. And all you have is, well, Hamas. Israel is worse than Hamas. Please get it through your dense skull, okay? Israel is 1,000,000 times worse than Hamas. Do you understand? Mathematically, Israel is insanely, it's not even on the same moral playing field to begin with. Israel is the reason why Hamas is a militant resistance group. Because of this, because Israel's been doing this for 76 years. You're out of your mind. What are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? Wake up. Oh, what about October 7? What about Hamas? What about Hamas? Israel's done an October 7 virtually every week since October 7. What do you mean, what about October 7? What about the following week of October 7 and the week after and the week after? The 17 months after October 7. And you're still talking about October 7. You're out of your mind, dude. Shut the up. Israel was doing October 7 kidnapping Palestinians illegally in illegally occupied territory in the West Bank every single day before October 7. The do you mean October 7? Just look at what Israel has done since October 7. Many people, at least, recognized the cruelty, recognized the process, recognized what Israel is all about after October 7th. They were oblivious to it before, but it was impossible to ignore after. And it's wild to me that people still cling on to this narrative.
Every event that you get from Hamas, you don't take it with a grain of salt. You take it with a shovel of salt. Hamas has been spreading propaganda since day one.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Hamas. I'm talking about the Red Crescent.
Hold on. A research center, okay, from London actually provide information and evidence how Hamas is inflating number, how they're actually reducing the age of some of the victims.
You're not disputing that 15 bodies have been found, have you? Or the 8 of them are Red Crescent workers.
Look, I think that if I haven't heard about this case...
Oh my God.
Every case that actually happened, we investigate in depth. Okay?
Oh my God. Dude, so bad. So bad. How are you this bad at your job? How are you this bad at your job? That is crazy. That is oh my God. Thank God they're bad. I guess it's a unique predicament because, like, how can you be good at this? You know? God.
If there's an investigation happening regarding a case, I would be very short and I would be very cautious about making declarative and statements as we've heard before.
Freak. Actual freak. I'm genuinely shocked at that Jesus Christ people still swallow this propaganda from Israel whole. Unbelievable. No, I don't think that there are as many people as you think that are just like eating this propaganda whole. I think people are just like either oblivious or I don't know. I think that I think overall people are just oblivious to it because the media just covers this in the worst way possible. And it's happening far away.
Headlights.
Now, that narrative's been upended. Tonight, a military official admitted the soldiers were mistaken about the lights and the threat they were under. The army insists 6 of the dead belonged to Hamas, but it denies they were executed at close range. The changing
That's still a lie. It's not a changing story. They've just been lying since the beginning. They've just never stopped. They've never stopped lying. They're still lying. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
Story, though, is only increasing the pressure.
Like, look, media cares about media narratives. This is a major story. This is a major story. Okay? The very fact that the atrocities itself is obviously a story in and of itself, but even if you're not covering the atrocity, Israel's lying is a story in and of itself. Israel lying like this is a part of this story. It's just a different story. You should be like, this is so crazy that like they just make shit up completely. And even when they're found, they keep making shit up. They continue to make more shit up. What the fuck is happening?
For an independent investigation. This footage lay buried for a week in the Gaza sand. Now it is forcing Israel to give answers and adding to the calls for accountability. Dan Johnson, BBC News in Jerusalem.